What is up, you mortgage friends and family? Welcome to the weekly sales meeting. My name is Sean Grapevine, Director of Agent Direct, coming at you live from our studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. So happy to have you on this call today. Excited to share with you what's coming up, what's new, what's exciting, and share with you some of the tips, tricks, knowledge, and insight that your colleagues here at UMortgage would love to share with you. So let's dive right in. First thing up is what's on the tip of everybody's tongue here at UMortgage and across the industry. It's Agent Connect, not to be confused with Agent Direct, although I'm sure that the rhyming nature was really an homage to the Agent Direct division that I am a part of. Agent Connect, if you don't know about it, I'm not sure how that's possible, and you can find out a lot more about it throughout the various resources across UMortgage on SharePoint and in the various social media blasts that are advertising it. But I wanted to give you an update about where we're at with Agent Connect. Right now, we've received the information of over 3,000 pre-approved buyers from our partner and have started distributing them and have distributed almost all of them to our loan officers in the phase one pilot program. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for all of us. This is, UMortgage is already on the map, but UMortgage is about to become the map because of Agent Connect. The value of Agent Connect is that it totally flips the value proposition between real estate agents and loan officers. Now, don't get me wrong. We at Agent Direct, our whole, raison d'etre, that our reason for existing is to call real estate agents, tell them how great it is to work with a UMortgage loan officer, tell them about our incredible product optionality, our incredible service, be really persistent, really form relationships with them, tell them about how quick our turn times are, the fact that we have wholesale rates with retail support, all that stuff. And you know what? It works. If you're persistent and pleasant, it pays off and you get to create really strong referral partner relationships. That totally changes. I mean, you still need to do all that, but it totally changes when you bring to a real estate agent the one thing that's on the top of their list of things that they want, which is pre-approved clients. For so long, the flow has been from real estate agents to loan officers that we've become used to. That we become, that's, nobody knows why clients go to real estate agents before they go to loan officers. It doesn't make any sense to anybody, but that's just how it's always been. And now we are able to flip that on its head. We are able to lead the relationship. We are able to provide value, not just through our expertise, not just through, our product optionality and our great rates and our great communication, which we are going to continue to do, but to really be able to establish our value in the relationship and come to the table as equals. Hey, you send us referrals, we're going to send you referrals as well. We're about creating stronger relationships. We're about being fair in those relationships. And we really think that, hey, real estate agents have been sending us business for decades upon decades. It's time to even the score, get us both even at the table, and go forward together as partners in a relationship of equals. The value that bringing a pre-approved buyer to a real estate agent cannot be overstated. So Agent Connect is going very well. Phase one is I can give more specifics as we roll out more information, but it's going incredibly well. We are already connecting buyers with real estate agents in local markets and winning relationships that way. And the pilot's been going for about 72 hours now. So incredible success so far. Be on the lookout for more information about phase two and for more information at the Winners Win event in Pontiac, Michigan, at the headquarters of a little lender called UWM, where we are having an event. It's a UMortgage event that UWM has been gracious enough to host, and it's going to be packed with value. We're going to have some speakers from across the industry and outside the industry. Mr. Anthony Casa himself will be one of the keynote speakers. Matt Ishbia, CEO of UWM. Renee Rodriguez, who's an incredible coach to many of our coaches, will be speaking as well. And we will be officially announcing, officializing the Agent Connect program for external users. What that means is, in order for your agents to receive Agent Connect borrowers, they have to be part of the Agent Connect program. And the people that get at the top of the list to join Agent Connect are the agents that you are responsible for inviting to the Winners Win event. So we'll have more information coming out shortly about how you can get your agents to the event, how you can register them, and how that benefits them so they can be part of the first group of agents that are officially a part of Agent Connect. And you can give in the hardest part of the hardest year in recent memory. You can be the one who is providing your favorite agents, your most successful agents, the agents you have the best relationship with. You can be providing them, clients, the things that they want, especially going into November, December, January, and really being a huge value add to them and their family and their livelihoods. So next up, I want to talk to you guys about something that we have been discovering at Agent Direct. As I just mentioned, hey, it's a tough market out there. Volume is down across the industry, and nonetheless, UMortgage and Agent Direct continue to grow. And one of the leading reasons Agent Direct is able to grow is because our salespeople, our loan officers, have an incredible amount of persistence when they are reaching out to real estate agents, right? So the average loan officer might reach out to a real estate agent 1.2, 1.3 times on average before they either consider the deal lost or have won the deal, right? Mostly going to consider it lost. But I'll have some of my LOs come to me and say, hey, look, I have been, going after these real estate agents. I feel like I've got an incredible relationship with them. They've even committed to sending me business, their next buyer. And I don't have nearly as many deals as I thought I would by this time. Why do you think that is? I go into their CRM, and it shows in the column of real estate agents that they've won, right, that have committed to sending them business. There might be 30, 40, 50 agents in there. And I go to look at the production of the agents in something like MMI, and here's the secret. It's not that the agents are sending the deal somewhere else. It's that those agents aren't doing very much business. But 1 month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, our LOs have been investing in those relationships. Despite the fact that nothing is coming the opposite direction, investing in those relationships, maintaining a relationship through text, maintaining a relationship through events, face-to-face meetings, through phone calls, through emails, through our newsletter, stuff like that. And then what happens when a deal does come to that agent? The first person they call is our loan officer. And you start to see the deals trickle in as these agents start to heat up in their local markets. And we've really seen that agents who have been contacted the most times are the most likely to send referrals to their referral partner relationships. I mean, I know it sounds simple when you say it out loud like that, but it's been really amazing to watch. Hey, if somebody gets moved into hey, we won this person, and then they're contacted once more over the next 2 months or twice more over the next 2 or 3 months, then the chance of us ever really seeing a referral, is that a true partnership? Is that a true relationship? It's not. But our loan officers who are diligent in their 10-day check-ins, call, check in, see how things are going, see how the spouse and kids and the pets and the soccer and the school, how all that's going. The LOs that do that on a regular basis and a regular cadence, when the next deal comes in for that agent, really have won the relationship. So we've really seen that persistence creates strong relationships, and it helps win and keep your pipeline fresh, abundant, and overflowing. Speaking of abundant and overflowing, next on our list of guests is Adam West. He's going to hop in and tell us all about how to re-engage and keep engaged with your pipeline.
Hey, it's Adam West coming to you from Utah. Today talking about how to re-engage your active pipeline. So that can be your leads or 1003s or active loan applications you have inside of Arrive. Instead of getting new business, it is key that you are in the weeds with your leads, and you're in the weeds with people that may be shopping, might be postponed, whatever. You don't have an active contract, but you have a name and a number and potentially some realtors involved. Stay on top of this. This is a gold mine to be able to get either new leads or get something under contract. So the number one thing that I do is now, because of the Level Up coaching at UMortgage, I have a lead tracker. Shout out Chad Curtin. Thanks so much for that. I wasn't keeping track of leads before. I started this a month ago. I have a loan under contract because I was using the lead tracker and followed up. So this is great. This is very, very timely. And if you don't have a lead tracker, please get one. If you need one, reach out, let me know. Happy to get you my template. So going through your lead tracker and then going through Arrive. Those are the two main things. And how often you do this is up to you. I go through both daily on the leads, and then anything that might need to be, if I need to give a text or a call to a client or realtor with someone in the pipe, I'm going to go through that. And it's not going to be a daily reach out, but I'm scrubbing this list daily to see who have I not reached out to recently. The number one thing that I would say in this scenario is text your clients. If you've only been on phone calls or emails, get a text thread going. If they have a realtor, get a text group going with the realtor involved. That makes things so sticky. That makes shopping more difficult. That makes you falling out of the picture much harder to happen. So if you have that realtor involved and you have the buyer in there, text them, have a good cadence with them. If they're out shopping for houses, you're probably going to be involved. If they need a monthly payment, they're going to come to you and ask you for that. So go through that daily, every other day, whatever. Set your theme days. We just went over this in coaching. Set whatever days you need to do to go through your lead tracker and then go through your 1003. The best time that I've found to reach out to these clients is anytime. Like, I don't know. You can set it for the evenings. You can set it for the mornings, afternoon, whatever. Every day is different. And I don't think there's like a certain time that's like, oh, I call Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Cool. If that's what you want to do and that's your cadence, great. But as far as reaching out to the clients, you should know what their schedules are like. You should know what kind of jobs they have. You should know if they're going to respond better to a phone call or a text. Either way, you're still going to text them, right? Do this and stay on top of people, and you will not only not lose that deal, but you have the potential to move that deal into other deals or other referrals. Think about how amazing it is for a realtor to have such a comprehensive and tight-knit group with the lender, the buyer, and the realtor. That realtor is going to like that. Not all lenders do that. You're going to set the bar that way. Always ask for referrals. Always ask for leads. A great way to reach up and sync back with people and follow up, reach out, sync up with people, and find ways to get more leads. Hey, I know you're not buying right now. I know you said that maybe December, January, you were going to look into this. Number one, has anything changed? Is your timeline moving up? Number two, do you have any friends or family that you've talked to recently that are in the same boat as you? Boom. Maybe you got a couple more leads from that. Don't sleep on your active leads and your active loans. Don't sleep on it. You can find so much more value in here. So call to action. Don't sleep on them. Make a lead tracker and do some pipeline management to go through your current pipeline so you can get more leads. Thanks.
Hey everybody, Rebecca Richardson here, talking with you about video and how you can use video as a sales funnel to connect with future buyers. And one of the first questions that people ask me is, I don't know what to talk about. And there are two things that you can do. One, listen to your clients. Your clients are going to be asking questions that other people care about as well. And it can be something as simple as, when is my first payment due, to something as complex as, how does DSCR work? If you can't think of anything that you've been asked recently, you can also go to answerthepublic.com and just type in home buying or home buying in 2023. It's going to have this wheel of questions that you can answer. When you answer them, I recommend that you answer them by telling a story to make it relatable, and then also be inclusive from the standpoint of, a lot of y'all are probably wondering, or, I have also felt. So make it feel like a safe space where they can answer questions that then gives you a reason to do more content. The other thing is also, how do you make mortgages, relatable for an everyday person? And one of the biggest things that I can suggest there is, don't use lingo. Make it as simple as possible and build off of that. If you do have to use a more industry term like MIP, explain that's mortgage insurance premium. It's an upfront mortgage insurance policy premium that is required on FHA loans. So remember that a lot of people don't know even where to start, much less all the intricacies. So avoid the lingo and use everyday language to make it, again, feel like a safe space where they can ask their questions and that they can trust you. From the standpoint as far as how to prepare for a video, I like to write out a rough script, or at least an idea of what I'm going to talk about. So I'll talk about what I'll write out what the topic is, who I'm talking to. Am I talking to a first-time home buyer? Am I talking to an experienced buyer? Am I talking to an investor? You can't make necessarily every video apply to everyone, and it's better for it to be focused on who your ideal client is that is going to need that information. From there, I'm then going to write what my opening or my hook is going to be. What am I going to say in the first 3 to 5 seconds to grab their attention and get them interested in the rest of the video, what else I'm going to say? Will describe the problem that they're probably having. Maybe they think that they need 20% down to buy a house and they only have 5%. So I'll normalize that. I'll let them understand that a lot of people think that you need 20% down and you might not have 20% down, but you think the market is leaving you behind. So start with the problem and then offer them the solution. So if you have that simple formula, that 3-part formula, that is a great way to structure your videos to make sure that you're keeping it on topic, but also making it meaningful. And the other thing to keep in mind is understanding that not all content is going to do well on all platforms. So I don't recommend just shotgun blasting everything you've made everywhere. Think about the different social platforms, kind of like different social activities. So whether you're at a barbecue in your neighborhood, maybe you're at a corporate event, maybe you're at a young professionals mixer, something like that, you're still going to be yourself, but you're going to maybe dress a little bit differently. You're going to maybe bring out different parts of your personality to kind of fit the vibe of the room. And the different social platforms are the same way. Something that does really well on Instagram Reels might not do so well on TikTok because it might be too polished. It might be too aesthetic. And TikTok values a little bit more of just kind of shoot and go from your phone and something a little bit more casual. The best thing to do is to start creating and really become a student of the platform that you personally enjoy first, and then branch that out to other platforms. So you know that what the content that you're making, again, plays for that platform and kind of fits the vibe of the room. The content that I'm seeing the most engagement on tend to either be something where I'm explaining some part about mortgages or housing that's in the news, something that is already in the public's consciousness. And then what I'm going to do is explain it for the everyday person. The other type of content that also really performs well is going to be something that is more evergreen, meaning it's not pursuant to what's going on today. So it might not be rates today, but it might be something on how rates work or how individual borrowers' details have an impact on rate. I hope that this helps you and that you're willing to get out there and make the video so we can get the message out to buyers as far as how it is still possible to buy a home, and with the right guidance, it can be a great experience. So thanks for having me.
What's up, everybody? It's been a long time since I've been here on the weekly sales meeting. I'm excited to be back. My name is Nicole, and I am one of the industry's newer loan originators. So today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of how you show up at networking events. So when I'm going out to these events, I'm always thinking of sort of interviewing people and really trying to capture the most amount of information that I can from these people. I try to talk less and listen a lot more. What I realize is people have a better remembrance of you when it's positive for them and they were talking about themselves and stories that matter to them. You know, when they think of you, it's a much more positive experience for them. So I try to keep it really open-ended with the questions, never anything that could be responded to with a yes or a no. So some things I always like to open with is like, how the heck did you get into real estate industry? You know, and I really do say it like that. So they're kind of like, their guard is down. They're like, funny story. It's, it's always these crazy long stories. And then I like to ask, where do you see your business going in the next year or year or 2 years, and a lot of times they'll tell you a lot about themselves then. They'll say, oh, I want to take the next step and be a team leader, or I want to spend a lot more time, with my family, or I'm just trying to get my business, going so I can, have financial freedom. And then I try to ask them a little bit about their pain points, anything they're struggling with. And maybe a good one that I learned recently from Sam Abazari is also hey, what's keeping you busy outside of work? that will really open up, and they'll tell you so much about their life. Do they have kids? Do they have a partner? Do they have dogs or cats or animals or a sport that they play? Like, these are all really, really good nuggets of information that we're going to use when we follow up with people after the networking events. So I try to listen much more than I do talk. If they ask me about myself, I quickly pivot it back to getting more information from them. So after a successful event, I try to digest all this information and then start with the follow-up. Now, the follow-up, it's somewhat of a cold call because, we've never done business together. We've never met except for this one event. But I have these things that I remember that they talked about. So I can easily open up the call with something that I know is important to them. So the follow-up is really important. The other thing is following them on social media, because that is going to let me into their world a little bit more. And so a quick story here on the importance of being persistent, because a lot of times, you'll meet people at these events in person. You'll have a great conversation. You walk away, you're like, yeah, great. It's awesome. I love them. They love me. And then ghost. They don't answer the phone call. Don't answer the text. They never respond back. So I had this happen with a woman that I met. She never answered me for like a month and a half. And, but I did follow her on social media. And, I texted her every so often. I called her every so often, just would never respond. But I would engage with her social media posts. So I would comment, I would like her stuff. I would slide in her DMs, whenever she would put a story about something worth engaging with. And so a month and a half, 2 months later, I get this random message from another real estate agent in the same office as this lady who had ghosted me. And the other agent is saying, hey, you were recommended by this agent to me, spoke very highly of you, and I'm looking for someone to help me at a fall festival in my community, sit at the booth, provide some materials, talk to the people that are in attendance. And so when I reached back out to the original agent that had ghosted me, I said, thank you so much for recommending me. She said, oh, of course. When I thought of dynamic female lenders, you were top of mind. And so I was like, wow, that just goes to show you that even when someone is not responsive back to you, if you are just putting your best foot forward all the time and being a positive voice, in their life, you can still have the chance to be top of mind. So remember all that. And a quick shout out to my loan partner, Peter Brock, who makes all of this possible. Me being able to lean into the skills that I, have the strongest is, it's all because Peter. He knows the guidelines. We talk to the borrowers as a team. And whenever I'm out engaging at events and building relationships and generating new business, I always know that he has my back. So shout out to Peter. And a reminder to you guys all, lean into what you do best. Always help someone when you can. And don't forget to ask questions when you have them. We're all here for each other, and we're all helping one another get better every day.
Hi everybody, Alec Conrad here, branch manager at UMortgage, and today we're going to talk about offering value to your real estate partners. So first and foremost, I very rarely call a real estate partner just to check in and see how they're doing. It is my opinion that that's a lazy and ineffective way to grow your business. You have to reach out to them in a way that adds value to their business and makes them actually want to talk to you besides just being friends. So I love my realtors, right? We're all friends, but you have to keep it focused on growing. Otherwise, it's going to become boring. They're not going to want to take your phone calls. So if you need help with something interesting to talk about with your realtors, let's go through a list of things that we do fantastic here at UMortgage that your realtors want to hear from you. All right. First and foremost, Winners Win Conference in November. It is a free conference that we are hosting for all realtor partners to have them be excited for 2024, excited to work with us at UMortgage and help grow their business both with us and beyond. All right. We also have the Agent Connect program where we're going to introduce thousands of credit qualified buyers across the nation to our realtor partners, and they can join the Agent Connect call or we can talk to them about it. We also have Level Up Sales Coaching where we're all being trained on how to be effective and efficient in our business. And those qualities translate to real estate. So after your coaching call your realtors, talk about what you learned that week and see if they can apply that to their business as well. We also have unique loan programs here. So we have the 1% down conventional home ownership for all program. that makes home buying more affordable. Most people don't have access to a program that's like this, and your realtors will want to hear about it, I promise you. So last thing is that we have a bunch of investors with really cool, unique loan programs. Maybe just go pick a loan program, become an expert at it, and then use that for a conversation starter with a lot of your realtors. They don't know that we offer all these loan programs, but they'll know once you tell them. So here's a good example. Last week, we closed a very famous TikToker who had a very unique situation. They had a blended personal and business bank statement loan, 12-month loan program, had to close it into a trust, only had 4 weeks to do it. We knocked it out of the ballpark. And listen, I'm telling everybody about it. It's very fun. It's very unique. It's very interesting. All right. And if all that's not enough for you, I have a great way for you to begin calling realtors right now that you don't know. So the Home Ownership for All program, the 1% down conventional loan program, is limited to 80% AMI. So it might be different in your market. So use the price point that makes sense. But in my market, I'll go look at 225 to 275 houses listed for sale on Zillow, and then call every single listing agent of every house on the market that house would be potentially eligible for the 1% down conventional loan program. Hey, realtor, I have a loan program that makes buying your house more affordable. Can I send you some more information? Of course. Who would say no to that? So there's a bunch of things that you can talk about today with your realtor partners, and we've got a call to action. I'm going to challenge you to today reach out to 5 realtors and let them know what you have to offer.
Wow, guys, it is an absolute embarrassment of riches how many talented people we have in this organization that are willing to share with us everything about what makes them great. So thank you to Alec, Rebecca, Nicole, and Adam for sharing. Before I go, I want to share one more thing with you and talk about what has made a lot of agent direct LOs and a lot of the LOs that I work with successful and has reduced distractions and reduced friction and reduced frustration and really made them into high functioning LOs that are great at their job. And that lesson is the lesson that we've learned is that you need to play to your strengths. So if you know much about agent direct, you might think of it as like, hey, these guys are just out there cold calling real estate agents all day, every day. That's it. They don't leave their basement, and they just got a headset on, and they're just pitching over the phone. So that's actually not the case. What we have, and it was a little bit more the case when we first got started, but what we really realized when we were seeing how loan officers were becoming successful, it was figuring out what they're good at and then removing the obstacles from, getting them to not have to do the things that they're bad at and putting them into positions where their raw talent was going to be what helped them, getting them into situations where their raw talent was going to win relationships over. So you might be a loan officer who's great on the phone. In that case, if you were in any branch at UMortgage, then that's something that you should really dive into. If you're great in person, then you need to be, right? You need to join 10 networking groups. You need to be at the Chamber of Commerce events. You need to be in-person meeting with as many real estate agents as you can find. You need to be having happy hours, lunch and learns. You need to be having like evening events. You need to be where the people are. Maybe your social media. And we just saw this, right? With the people we just talked about, right? Rebecca's a social media maverick. She's amazing at it. Nicole is the best in-person loan officer I've ever set eyes on. Alec, comes across as the expert, as the market expert to his real estate agents to really establish trust and establish authority. And so you need to, first of all, do a little introspection, see what it is you're great at. And then you need to make sure that you're setting up your day to get into those situations. Because like the slide says, you got to play to your strengths, but a lot of people use that as an excuse to not work very hard. Hey, I am outrageously, we're all born with talents, and you can't be thinking to yourself, hey, I'm outrageously talented at this one thing, so I'm really going to coast through life and hope that getting into that situation once or twice a week is enough to win me, a decent book of business and make me a great living. And maybe I'll get lucky and it'll start to accelerate. Let me tell you something about this market. That ain't going to happen. Getting into the situations that you're good at once or twice a week is not how a book of business is built. You got to play to your strengths, but you got to play hard. If you're that networking person, like I said, you got to be part of 10 networking groups. You got to be out and about. Like you have to have, somebody hopefully back at the ranch who can process these loans for you. Or once you're done with with your networking events. Once you're done meeting with people in person, you got to come back and you got to work through the night to work on all the loan apps that you got. If you're a great in-person loan officer like Nicole, right? What does Nicole do all weekend, every weekend? She is at open house. She just got married 2 weeks ago, and she was at an open house right after her wedding. That's not true. I'm just kidding. But I'm pretty sure she had to be physically restrained from trying to do that because she's so passionate about meeting with people, about being involved in their lives and being face to face with them. And if you're great at social media, it's not the one social media post today. It's not two social media posts today. It's not one platform. It's not two platforms. It's all the platforms, and it's all day long. The only way we get to earning the book of business, creating the relationships that we want, serving the clients, the number of clients that we want, is by playing to our strengths, but playing that game really hard. Setting up your day so that from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., you are focusing on your strengths, you're minimizing distractions, you're minimizing weaknesses, and that you are outworking your competition. I know one thing, even if you're not good at anything like me, if you outwork your competition, you're gonna win. So I've seen it a million times, but if you can combine outworking your competition with doing the things you're great at, then you're going to absolutely crush your competition. So really appreciate everybody's time today. It's been great having you on the weekly sales meeting. Looking forward to seeing you guys throughout the rest of the week and continuing to keep you posted about the progress and success we're having in Agent Connect, and seeing you in Pontiac, Michigan, November 2nd and 3rd at Winners Win.